Hey guys, mahal everyone, 40 the Broadway Saiyan here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, bringing you guys another video on Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia. In this video, we're going to be covering the details for the upcoming Lost Chapters, featuring a highly anticipated return for a very popular character, Final Fantasy VII's Zack. So for those of you that missed out on his initial release, this is going to be a great time for you to recruit him permanently because his Lost Chapters is now going to be a permanent addition in Global DFFOO. Now, with the release of this Lost Chapters, we're also going to be seeing the debut of Zack's very sought-after EX weapon, and we're also going to be seeing some synergy buddies with Zack in Laguna and Lael, who are actually not bad characters in their own right, and we're going to be seeing the return of those target sniper bosses. Now, we're going to be also seeing Zack's level 60 awakening alongside his new passives, and that's what we're going to be taking a look at first, because that is the core of this release of this Lost Chapters, which is his level 60 awakening. So let's go ahead and take a look at that, starting off with his crystal passives level 54 and 58. So his crystal passive level 54 is going to be buff boost and speed up, which gives him a 20% max brave as well as a small speed increase as long as he is buffed. His crystal passive level 58 is called buff attack and boost all, giving the party a 40% attack and max brave increase to the entire party when Zack is buffed. What I love about his 54 and 58 passives is, first of all, he has one that helps himself. Okay, he gives himself like a speed increase, and then afterwards the other one actually supports the party. It actually allows your party to be able to be more offensive and deal more damage, and 40% attack and max brave up is actually a pretty significant number. So I really like that 58 passive, and the 54 passive is pretty good too. Now we're going to go ahead and take a look at his actual abilities, and we're going to start things off actually with his brave attack plus and his HP attack plus. Now, something that I do want to point out is, if you guys are watching this video, you know how I like to have gameplay footage during these discussions, and the gameplay footage animations that you're going to be seeing for these particular abilities are going to be coming from my JP account, so they might look a little bit different because I did record them, you know, with my current Zack, who is in the EX Plus era, so he has abilities that look a little bit different, but for the most part the animations do remain the same. So I just want to let you guys know, just in case you guys are wondering, oh, how come Zack now in Global doesn't do what 40 showed in his video, you know? So that's the reason why. But anyways, just go ahead and take a look at his Brave Attack and HP Attack Plus. So his Brave Attack Plus with the level 55 passive is a 2-hit non-elemental melee Brave Attack. This will be provoking the target for 2 turns, so he now has another option to be able to provoke a target, and it has a pretty good brave damage potency, 160%. His HP Attack Plus with level 60 passive is going to be recovering his own brave by 20% of Zack's max brave before he actually deals HP damage. He's going to be healing his own brave by 10% of the HP damage dealt. Now we're going to go ahead and move on to his first ability, Chain Slash, and we're going to be taking a look at this ability not only with his level 55 passive equipped, but also, remember, with that 15 CP weapon. So this is now going to be a 5-hit non-elemental brave plus HP attack with an overflow of up to 120% of max brave. Whatever target he uses is on is going to be provoked for 4 turns. It has a base brave damage potency of 240%. Now if he's being targeted, that jumps up to a whopping 600%. He's going to be recovering his own brave by 10% of the HP damage he deals. He's going to be granting himself action delay down for 6 turns, so he allows his abilities to have a lower action delay. And he's also going to be granting himself resistance to melee and range brave attacks for 4 turns. And he's also going to be changing his brave attack to the plus version for 6 turns. Now his second ability, taking a look at it with its 35 CP passive as well as the 60 passive, Rush Assault. This is now going to be a 3-hit non-elemental brave plus HP attack, followed by another 2-hit non-elemental brave plus HP attack, and finally ending with another 2-hit non-elemental brave plus HP attack. So that's 3 HP attacks that he's dealing total with this ability now. It has a base 240% brave damage potency. However, when Zack is being targeted, that jumps up to a whopping 720%, which is an insane number just for an ability itself. Now he is going to be healing his own brave by 10% of the HP damage he deals with this ability. And he's also going to be granting himself a 100% max brave up for 7 turns, as well as an HP regen based on 8% of max HP for 7 turns. Now with this, he's also going to be changing his HP attack to HP attack plus for 7 turns. Those are pretty gnarly upgrades for this level 60 awakening. And I'm gonna tell you right now that in JP, Zack did not receive a rework, but he is undoubtedly one of the best characters in the game right now in JP. Now that is provided with his EX Plus weapon being fully max limit broken, but think about it. Take a look at what they did for just alone for his level 60 awakening. There's no need for a rework. That is insane. He's able to recover Brave after he deals the HP damage with both abilities. He has Overflow with one of them. He deals massive amounts of HP damage, and then he also has HP regen, and then he has a 100% max Brave up. Those are some pretty significant upgrades that he got with his awakening just for his abilities alone. And to top it off, he also has some pretty good passives with those auras, especially the aura that he is able to support the party with. So overall, he's already looking pretty impressive here. Now we're going to go ahead and take a look at his EX ability called Apocalypse. Now remember, if you want to have access to this, you do need to have his EX weapon equipped. So his EX ability Apocalypse is going to be a 6-hit non-elemental magic AoE Brave plus AoE HP attack. So this is actually a magic Brave attack. The HP damage dealt is going to be divided evenly amongst multiple targets. Base Brave damage potency 240%, but when he's being targeted, it jumps up to that 720% Brave damage potency. This ability can also overflow with up to 150% of max Brave. It will be inflicting provoke on all targets for 4 turns. So all targets are going to be targeting Zack after you use this. And this is the kicker with this ability. It's going to be giving him a framed buff for 4 turns called Brave Barrier. And Brave Barrier, essentially, it's kind of like Warrior of Light's Shining Shield. The value of that barrier is going to be based on 150% of Zack's initial Brave. Now, this is what Brave Barrier does. Take a look at this. If Zack takes any Brave damage that's less than 100% of Brave Barrier's value, that Brave damage is reduced by 100%. So for example, let's say Zack's Brave Barrier value is at 7,500, and then the enemy target or whatever, big boss, is like targeting Zack and hits him with an ability that deals 6,000 Brave damage. That's going to be 0 Brave damage that Zack is going to take. Now, if the Brave damage dealt to him is greater than 100% of Brave Barrier's value, the Brave damage is going to be reduced by whatever Brave Barrier's value is. So again, let's say Zack's Brave Barrier value, 7,500. The boss hits him with an attack. The Brave hit is at 8,000. Well, guess what? It's only going to be at 500 because it's going to be reducing it by whatever that Brave Barrier value is. So it's pretty nuts. And then afterwards, if Zack is broken, however, the Brave Barrier will be dispelled. But I'm gonna tell you right now, that's a very insane framed buff, and just what it does, you're gonna rarely see Zack getting broken as long as the Brave Barrier is active. Now at 3 out of 3 limit break with this EX weapon ability, it's gonna be permanently increasing Zack's initial Brave by 20% as well as his attack by 40%. And then the EX ability itself has a based recast speed of normal and a slightly fast when you have it fully limit broken. So you can expect to be able to use this ability numerous times because of that slightly fast limit break. Very powerful EX ability, extremely powerful. I love the overflow. Yeah, it has a 720% Brave damage potency, which is the exact same potency as his second ability, Rush Assault. But for what it does, that Brave Barrier is just nuts. Like I don't know what they were thinking when they were designing this character. Not to say any spoilers, but maybe Zack could have had that Brave Barrier in his own game. Not going to say why. For those of you that haven't played Crisis Core, but for those of you that have, you know what I'm talking about. But this is a pretty crazy EX ability here. So the last thing we're going to take a look at before I give my final verdict on whether or not this character is for fun or for glory is going to be the artifact passive that you're going to be wanting to farm up for him. So you're going to want to give him Soldier's Grit Boost 2-star. So it's going to be improving that level 50 passive that he has. And then afterwards, you're going to want initial Brave plus 170, especially if he has his EX weapon, because we know that the Brave Barrier's value is based on 150% of whatever his initial Brave is. You're definitely going to want more initial Brave on Zack. He already has enough attack as it is, so attack plus 108 is a decent option, but it's not one of the better options for Zack's case. And then afterwards, you'll probably want to have maybe 1 or 2 max Brave plus 330, just so that way his overflow is going to be a little bit higher. Okay, So, Zack's Awakening. My goodness, this character, he's like a level 60 character. He's like a level 70 character in a level 60 character's body, and that's how I felt about his initial release. It's like he was a level 50 character, but kind of functioning almost like a level 60 character. You know what I mean? Very, very powerful awakening. The only unfortunate thing about this awakening is that it's extremely close to another super powerful awakening in Warrior of Light, who happens to be another tank. Functions differently, but Warrior of Light's rework is super crazy, and it happens a few weeks after Zack gets his awakening, and alongside that, Warrior of Light gets his level 70 awakening as well. So that is really the unfortunate thing about this particular awakening, but if you take a look at it as a whole, it's super strong. And like I said earlier, later on, Zack gets his EX Plus weapon and a level 70 awakening in JP, and even though he doesn't get a rework, he becomes absolutely one of the best characters that JP DFFOO currently has, and in the future, that's something to look forward to, especially if you want to invest your resources into this character. So is this character for fun or for glory? He is all the way straight up for glory, and if you decide to build him up, just know he's going to be serving you pretty well because he is super powerful. He is a tank that deals a lot of damage if he's being targeted, and he has so many ways to make the enemy targets target him. So very, very good character, very good awakening. Now we're going to take a look at the banner. So upon the release of this Lost Chapters, we're going to be seeing again the debut of his EX weapon called the Enhanced Sword. Now the banner mates on this banner is going to be Laguna and Lael. I don't know why I said Irvine, but anyways, Laguna and Lael, both of them are actually not bad characters. Lael was pretty strong when he first got his level 60 awakening because we were in that chase meta era. It's kind of fallen short now, but there's some situations where using the chase strategy can actually still be pretty good. Laguna is not bad. I mean, he's a pretty good debuffer. He has AoE debuffs. He has an HP attack with a shotgun, so he's not bad. I will say that Laguna is also one of the first characters to get his level 70 awakening, which is going to be happening around the same time Warrior of Light gets his, and he also gets a rework. So if you happen to get Laguna's weapons trying to chase after Zack's EX weapon on this banner, it's a fairly decent investment because Laguna does get a rework, and his rework is actually not bad, and we're going to cover that when we actually get closer to that. But the banner itself, again, obviously the prize is going to be Zack's EX weapon. Now, should you pull on this banner or not? It's a hard question to answer because here's my thing. If I'm a free-to-play player and I don't care much for Zack, and I'm focusing on getting the strongest characters possible, especially we know Vayne is right after Zack, and let's say I'm a free-to-play player that is saving for Vayne and already has Warrior of Light built and ready for his OP awakening and rework that is going to be happening literally a few weeks after Zack's awakening, then it's probably okay for you to pass on this banner because at least you have Warrior of Light, and while Warrior of Light functions differently, what he provides that Zack doesn't really provide as well is utility, and he also provides better survivability because of the fact that his Shine Shield with his rework is given to everybody, and he also has overflow. Like Warrior of Light becomes insane. So this is why I would, if you would pass on the banner, it would be absolutely okay because of Warrior of Light's super powerful rework coming out a few weeks later. Now, if you do decide to pass on Zack's banner, it does come back on the Act 2 Chapter 7 banner. It's featured alongside Ignis's EX weapon. So when Ignis comes out with his EX weapon, Zack is going to be coming back, and also Zack's EX weapon by that time will have its EX Plus ready. So he becomes that crazy monster that he is right now on JP. Now, if you decide not to pull on either of these banners, there is another way that you can get Zack's EX weapon, and what's cool about it is you can actually get it for free. So you guys know that on JP they have something called the EX Token Shop. It's limited time. It's only been released twice, but the second time it came around, which is around the time they debuted the farthest ends of the dimensions, Heretic stages that are Chaos difficulty, Zack's EX weapon is actually on that second release of the EX Token Shop. So you can actually get it for free there if you decide to pass on it entirely on its initial release and also on the later release for the Act 2 Chapter 7 banner. So there's actually a free way to be able to get it. So like I said, if you decide to pass on it now, you can always just get it there too, or you can always get it during the Ignis banner. But if you decide to pull for it now, great investment because Zack is still a really strong character. Even though he's really close to Warrior of Light's OP rework, very, very good investment in a character. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and talk about those two target sniper bosses. Just a little bit of details on them. They're both weak to thunder. They both don't have any resistance. They have a lower chase value compared to other bosses at 30. So if you are bringing Lael, who happens to be one of the synergy characters, he's going to be pretty good for this fight. Abilities you want to look out for: target lock on. Essentially, both bosses are going to be focus firing one character, and they're also going to be inflicting defense down. So you want to be careful when that character gets targeted. This is why Zack is good for this fight, because he could provoke, which forces the bosses to just target him. Out of control raises their stats for attack and speed. Eraser machine gun is going to be dealing range brave damage and removing all buffs without frame. So any buffs that are not unique are going to be removed by this ability. And then they also do something called enemy search, and this is essentially your indication telling you that they're going to be using target lock on next turn. And then their super move is called uncontrolled fire. So what it is, it's a 9-hit range brave plus HP attack. However, those brave hits are dispersed randomly, so you want to make sure that if this happens, all of your party members brave are high, so then that way they don't get broken, because if they hit a high brave amount, likely they might one-shot one of your characters. Now, is this fight going to be hard? I'm gonna be real with you. I feel like this is going to be a breather fight. We're already in the Cosmos era, and right now Lost Chapters on Global DFFOO won't be seeing Cosmos difficulty in Lost Chapters till later, so this is more of a breather fight because this is EX level. I mean, we already have the Ice Giants Cosmos stage. We already have the Soul Cage hard difficulty on Act 2 Chapter 3, which is Cosmo-ish level difficulty. And then we have Shiva Ultimate Trials, the Cosmos difficulty. So honestly, this is a breather fight. I don't foresee it being too difficult unless maybe you're a newer player. It might be difficult for you, but it won't be too difficult for those of us that have been playing DFFOO, especially on the global side, for quite some time, because like I said, it's a good thing that it's a breather. So then that way we're not stressing over trying to complete it or trying to get the achievements for it. But anyways, I am going to be moving on now to my gameplay visual showcase, where I'm going to be tackling that level 100 EX. You could see it right there. My Zack's waiting. He has his EX Plus weapon, fully max limit broken. He has his 5-star armor, also plus, fully limit broken as well. He has a sphere. I have currently all the summon boards available farm for him. So you're about to see future Zack, in a sense, or what global players can look forward to in Zack later on, and just how strong he's going to be. So because this is the level 100 stage, I'm going to take Zack by himself, and you'll just see how crazy he is. You'll see just how he murks his entire Lost Chapters just alone by himself. All right. So HP attack plus plus. So the plus plus versions of his HP attack and brave attack is something that he gets later on when his EX plus weapon comes out, or when the plus version of his EX weapon is accessible. So I'm literally just using that, and as we know, it also does recover a little bit of his brave based on the HP damage he deals. So nothing is really, Zack is in no danger right now whatsoever. It's crazy how he is designed to be an offensive tank that hardly takes any damage but deals more damage when he's being targeted. It's just a match made in heaven, those two ideas being put together into this character. All right, so we're actually going to use some abilities here. Okay, perfect. So now it's going to target us, so it allows us to deal more damage. So this is going to be his Chain Slash. Lots of damage there. We're going to use Rush Assault. And what I love about his actual abilities is the fact that he's recovering brave. He never really puts himself in danger, especially if you have his brave shield, such as right now. We're about to get his brave shield with his Apocalypse ability. And the EX Plus version does hit twice, so it's really strong. So now we have that active, and you guys will see that in action now. 0 damage. I don't even care about that debuff. It's not like we're in any kind of danger. All right, we're just gonna use some abilities here because I wanna have Apocalypse ready again when we actually get to the bosses. Here we go. So I'm gonna try to prolong it, even though Zack will probably take like no damage, because this is only the level 100 version. So, all right, there we go. And we get the better version of it because one of them happens to be targeting us, which is good. Oh, that damage is so nice to look at. And like I said, even his level 60 version, when he first gets his awakening, is already pretty strong. Okay, so they used target lock on, but we're not in any danger. Even if they use their that uncontrolled fire, they're probably going to deal 0 damage unless maybe their Brave recovers. Yep, 0 damage. Okay, so we took some HP damage, but guess what? We have that regen, so not too concerned there. Oh, they're really going at it on me. Okay. At least you get to see what they do, right? Alright, we're just gonna pop summon now, so we can end this. And let's go ahead and use Apocalypse again. I love the animation for this EX ability too. It looks so cool. It's like he summons like this lightning or all of this like electricity from the ground and just goes all over the place. Oh, that one's pissed off, but what is he gonna do? Zack's just too good. All right, can we get another Apocalypse in? Of course, because it has such a fast recastable rate. Slightly fast. That's just, I almost want to say it's broken. All right, so there we go. That is going to be the gameplay visual showcase for the level 100 portion of the upcoming Lost Chapters that we're going to be seeing soon on Global DFFOO. Again, Zack's a great character, so despite us knowing that Warrior of Light's going to get an OP rework a few weeks later, Zack is still pretty OP in his own right, so it's up to you guys if you want to pull for him. I'm probably going to pull for him too, just because he's a really cool character, probably my favorite character within the Final Fantasy VII series. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully you found the video helpful. Thank you guys for watching. This is 40 the Broadway Saiyan signing out. Stay tuned for the next video. Mahal, everyone.